Wow, that was wonderful. Ooh, very deep there. But let's bring you the newspaper's front pages this morning, and we're joined by journalist Habib Aruna, who brings us the details on that. Thank you very much for joining us. You know, I was lost for words when I started because I felt like Benga did an excellent work.
Absolutely.
You know, it was spot on. There's really nothing to add to that. But maybe we'll get your reaction to that before.
No, because I agree with you. I agree with him because what he just read was well written. It captures, the essence of our democracy. Because no nation survives if the nation toys with its laws. Laws are passed by the people's representatives. All its facts is sacrosanct. Don't touch it. What he just read, I hope and I think it will sink in to people who are responsible for making laws for our country.
Right.
Because the most enviable democracy brand in the world, the US. The US came about because the fact that they were being taxed without being represented. And that is what brought about no taxation, no representation. In other words, if we must pay taxes, then we must be represented. Don't joke with us. If you don't pay your tax in America, you are found guilty. You are found guilty. Even before you prove yourself, prove your innocence.
Yeah.
So what Benga has read is to me very instructive and a big message to all of us, both the citizens and those in government.
Okay.
Don't toy with it. It must be investigated. Who are responsible for removing certain aspect of a law that has been passed and assented to by the president?
All right, let's get into the front pages of the papers. We know that YouTube audience have dropped their comments on some of the other earlier stories, but this is a segment where I take your comments as well. Let's go straight into it. The Nigerian Tribune is a big story here. Yuletide. Defense headquarters, police orders deploy more men in strategic locations. Army kills 21 terrorists, intercepts logistics in Borno. Remaining abducted Niger school students regain freedom. Why Nigeria's banking giants are buying more shares to secure power profits. Gridlock on major roads, travelers stranded for hours. Lamentation on Lokoja, Abuja, Benin, Asaba, Lagos Island roads, normal traffic flow restored, Umahi says. APC to hold national convention in March. Release timetable for ward, local government, state and zonal congresses. 2026 budget, federal government 6% allocation for education below UNESCO World Bank benchmark. I mean, we are starting to sound like a broken record when we say this at this point. Dangote refinery launches nationwide PMS sale at 739 per litre. I thought it was 699 that they were reducing it to, but maybe I'm mixing up the numbers.
No, that's the gantry.
At the gantry, that's true. Okay, so let's begin the stories talking about the Niger school students regaining their freedom. And your thoughts on this? We took that at the beginning of the conversation. While some celebrated, others were saying that the bar is too low. That we're celebrating that students who should not have been kidnapped in the first place have now been returned.
No, well, they're returned with psychological trauma.
And secondly, we don't even know what happened. How did they return these students?
As they said, through intelligence-driven operations.
I think I agree with your remarks that we shouldn't be bringing out the drums to celebrate what is a normal thing. And they didn't tell us how they were released. Was ransom paid? Who led the negotiations? Because in Nigeria, you negotiate.
Were the perpetrators arrested?
How they arrested by night?
They committed a crime.
Absolutely. In a normal situation, they should be arrested and prosecuted. But we just learned yesterday, personally, that our students are back. Nobody really. We are not told what happened.
After that,
that is not tidy. And I agree with those people that are saying that we celebrate.
But we've almost become accustomed to this culture. People commit grievous crimes. You kidnap. You cause parents a lot of anxiety for this number of weeks, and then the government releases a statement, and we're not supposed to scrutinize or have further details on it. We move on to the next issue. When are we going to stop this?
I don't think we are moving.
Or are we going to be?
When I was leaving my house this morning, I was thinking of, has it become a normal thing? When you kidnap people, they are released and life goes on. That is not how to run a country. You know, people that commit offense, people that commit crime should face the consequence. That is how a nation is governed.
Or is the government trying to, I mean, for security reasons, maybe the government is trying to prevent the would-be kidnappers from knowing their operational methods, because you could also think of it that way, that if they might be keeping trade secrets.
Well, it's not impossible. Maybe you are playing the
devil's advocate.
Absolutely, I can understand. But the fact remains that maybe they know more than we know more than we know. And maybe in the days ahead, if 10 Nigerians, how these children were released, and what they are doing to make sure that
but it's not done this way. In other crimes, I remember when Osama bin Laden was captured in his compound in Abbottabad in Pakistan. You know, there was up-to-date information.
No,
they even told us how he was given a sea burial so that there won't be any memorial to his memory. People won't go there if he was buried on ground and things like that. And what that does is it inspires confidence in the commander-in-chief. You say that, look, I'm so proud of the United States Armed Forces. I want to join the United States Armed Forces because they leave no man behind. But when you just release press statements and with all this ambiguity, it doesn't inspire any sort of confidence.
Don't compare this country to the U.S.
Why not? Are we not the same human beings?
No, they are operating in
Is it not the same blood that they have that we also have?
That is a country that if you do anything against their citizen, they get you, even if it's 20 years, they get you. You know, we're not getting to that stage yet. We're just in a relation where people, I don't know.
No, I have to compare. Isn't it the same type of hairstyle that they have that Olive is also having?
But we keep on asking this question. This kind of photo.
Let's move to the next paper very quickly. I'd like us to look at the next paper and let's see what it has in store for Nigerians and, of course, our in-house analyst. This Nigeria. Nigerians in Yuletide travel dilemma. Abuja to Lagos, eastbound road trips now almost 100,000 bucks.
What's going on? What is going on?
Travelers trapped between costly flights, risky roads. FCCPC cracks down on unjustified fare hike.
They should start in the airport.
Alleged corruption, ICPC invites Dangote over petition against ex-NMDPRA boss. Presidency confirms release of remaining 130 abducted Niger school pupils.
I'm not particularly impressed with this idea of inviting those that have been accused of
the whistleblowers
of corruption. You know, tap them on the back and say, go and resign. And go. I'm not particularly impressed with that. I think people that have been found wanting, the context of people blowing a whistle, they should be investigated. You know, and if found guilty, they should face the law squarely. And that is why I'm happy that ICPC is inviting Dangote to come and show more evidence, because he showed some evidence last week.
He who alleges must prove.
Yes, he showed some last week. You know, let's come and show more evidence, and so that to help them in their investigation. And that's the way to go. And if
but resignation is
now keep asking questions. How far have they gone with the investigation? This man should not go scot-free. Because if the allegations are true, the kind of people that are preventing the refineries from working, these are major characters in this oil sector who are making us to suffer. We have 4 refineries that are not working. And this man is spending billions for his kids abroad. Which come and let Nigeria know. And you get the money from.
He already has explained. He said he gets 48 million naira a year in terms of 4 million naira per month. If you break that down, that'll be 4 million naira per month as salary and allowances.
What about that's just salary. That's extra.
And that, you know, there's also money that has been generational wealth, and then there's scholarship as well that these children have gotten.
4 children are on scholarship.
He's talking Bangladesh.
Although
you cannot justify. You don't read that with those allegations. What are we talking about?
I want to say
something. Investigated,
Mr. Aruna,
and prosecuted.
Mr. Aruna, is it that as a country we have a systemic problem with accountability, especially during the height of One, insecurity and corruption. Let's just take that, insecurity, corruption. On the other hand, before we go to this story, you had mentioned that we just talked about how the children were rescued, but yet there's no statement from the presidency that says that the kidnappers were eventually captured.
Or NSA.
Or NSA. And the NSA has been so quiet. That's one. On the other hand of Mr. Farouk, we've also seen a case where he has resigned. The presidency has not made a statement regarding the fact that either he was found wanting or this taking a stand.
And because they are,
to make it clear,
they're investigating
as regards
now.
just going to the ICP. Olive, I know they're investigating, but come on. I mean, Mr. Aruna is a seasoned journalist and one who has also stood the test of time in terms of communicating between the government and the people, which in turn, you can call it a public relations position. Is it fair that the government will keep quiet, seeing all these drama happen?
The government is not keep quiet.
I'm just saying,
Okay.
is it fair that they will not speak?
The government acted swiftly by making sure that the man resigns. He resigned after visiting.
That is back. That's behind
the
the
villa. Yeah, he resigned. But they should take it a little further. What is the next step?
Okay, the next step is investigation.
Prosecution.
And just to clarify,
He resigned to go and sleep, to go and enjoy the money.
That's what we're saying. We're saying
He
the same thing.
resigned to be investigated.
Okay.
I agree with you.
Is there a
There should be
statement that says-
the further step is that he has resigned, and the next step is for him to be investigated,
all right.
and if found wanting, prosecuted.
So just to mention,
And in all this, the former head of NNPC, where is he?
okay. I know we had quoted,
moving freely.
just to clarify, I know I had talked about 48 million naira. No, NNPC had they had put out a statement, I believe, to say that that press release was not from him. The only known response that he has had was that he says, "I hereby state categorically that the so-called statement did not emanate from me." So there was a statement put out, and Farouk Ahmed has disowned that statement. But we have a call coming in. Let's take this call. Good morning. Thank you very much for calling. Please go ahead with your comment.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Yeah, Uche from Abia State.
Good morning, Uche. And how are the Christmas lights?
Well, as a Nigerian, smiling and suffering. That is Nigeria for all. Smiling and suffering.
Well,
I ask a vital question.
go ahead, please.
Whether the Americans have, double heads. I laugh. What is happening in Nigeria will it happen in America? Nigerians are suffering. Look at the hold on the road. The presidency is talking about coastal highway or coastal with whatever. Nigerians, the road you are having, you did not put it in use. You are building a new one that you go and borrow money to construct. Who does that? Which country does that in the world? That's the question we'll be asking. In fact, we are so comfortable. Our docility is the problem of the country because our leaders have taken it as an advantage. That is the problem. Cry from here till tomorrow. Until Nigerians stop being docile. These people, how many of them? You are constructing a road. People will not use it how many years? Then the ones they are using, they are suffering. Oh, it's a pity. Make I ask a question. Have you seen where government destroy people's property? You took an oath to protect life and property. You are destroying the property. Seeing you are people, you are to govern. How they are sleeping on the road, how they are crying, and they are so comfortable. This is not a country. You negotiate with terrorists. You can't negotiate with your people on how to live in peace. Nigeria is not a country, neither a nation. God bless you people.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. I mean, that's
Thank
the voice
you.
of someone who's not happy this morning, despite the holidays.
And despite the Christmas lights that were launched in
Obviously, he said he's suffering and smiling. Well,
Mr. Aruna was going to react to the transport fare. Nigerians in Utah travel. Now, road is 100,000 naira plus. The road has now become the same fare to the air. The air has now become
with a lot of palpitation, gridlock, discomfort, just name it.
It's a two-way thing. One, it should be expected. Now Nigerians will go home. Everybody will be hustling to go home and see family to celebrate. So transport fare will rise. Demand and supply will come in. The second aspect is that our roads, are they safe? Are they good enough? That is the issue that Uche was raising. You don't have good roads. The interstate roads are not good enough when you are building coastal road. That's what Uche is saying. So effort should be made to put our roads in order. Most of the roads, we are going to, for example, Edo State. Look at the bad on Ife. Very bad. Look at Ife Akure. Not so good. And people are talking about, look at Lokoja and Abuja. You know, look at Lokoja and Opela to Auchi. These are very bad roads. And not to talk of even Edo, Benin to Sapele, to Warri. So these are very bad intercity, interstate road should be fixed. But on the issue of transport fare, it should be expected. People will travel. Transport is a normal thing. The only thing is that government should be up and doing to make sure that these roads are safe. People are free.
And prepare ahead. You don't start construction work in November.
Which we're not doing. Even in Lagos. Look at Lagos, for example. They go on Saturday from Ikeja to VI. It goes 3-4 hours.
It's really sad. As in right now, you know the way people are doing it's December period. Everyone, let's go out, oble.
30 December.
I say nobody should involve me.
I'm really looking forward to January.
Honestly, I've never dreaded a December as much as I dread this December. I haven't been excited about it at all. It's very terrible. The amount of traffic, how people... The other day, a 20-minute drive took 2 hours.
Yes.
It's ridiculous. Okay. Now let's go to the tax laws that have garnered social media's reaction. We see on the front page of This Nigeria, Serap challenges Tinubu on alleged tampering with tax laws. I know you've been following this story as well. And let's get your thoughts on this as well.
No, that was your the thing that you read.
Yes. And
it's a very big offense.
And the question is, do you think that we should pause now on an implementation of tax?
I think it should be paused. Because you see, I've voiced my opinion on this issue many times. You remove subsidy on fuel. And I was thinking that government must have generated enough fund. You are still borrowing money. Now, you want to tax Nigerians again. How do we reconcile that? Now, you submitted, you put something on the table, debated. Public hearings were done. Now, all of a sudden, a lawmaker now raise an issue that this is not a law we passed. It has been tampered with. So what needs to be done is for you to investigate what really happened. Go back to the drawing board. People that tampered with it should be investigated. They should be dealt with and sacked immediately, prosecuted. If we are a country of law, then the law should always take its course. Carry a wire. Let them investigate it. And you see, that is why if we have an independent National Assembly, kind of thing will not occur.
People that are singing on your mandate.
Let's take this call. Salisu from Kano joins us. Good morning, Salisu.
I didn't say that.
Good morning. Good morning, guys. Good morning.
How is Kano this morning?
Morning. How are you?
Very well. Thank you for asking.
You guys are doing a wonderful work.
Thank you.
The new center is the best anyway.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, go on.
Honestly, to me, if Nigerians are really suffering, they should take decisive action in 2025. To me, if Nigerians are really suffering, they should take decisive action in 2025.
We're struggling to hear you, Salisu.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
While this is a tested season, but people spend 24.
Okay. You can call
us back.
please.
The quality of your audio is really poor. We're struggling to hear you. So, what newspaper? I think we should.
We haven't taken the Punch newspaper.
Yeah, we should move to the Punch newspaper.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. So, able director, please, could we have the
Punch newspaper. Pretty much just covers a lot from yesterday's event, the weekend's event. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his wife, the First Lady,
they're in Lagos.
At the top in Lagos. They're finally in Lagos, so everyone should expect
This Christmas
triple
traffic, you're gonna
triple
halt.
traffic.
It depends on their movement. Friday, he's most likely to go to the mosque in Lagos Island, and it depends on his movement. And he might be kind enough to use helicopters to save Lagosians the more traffic.
But you know, when the
hassles.
president is in town, you have a lot of security detail in different parts, and people are swinging in to come and see the president from different states.
His residence becomes a sort of mecca, political mecca. And knowing that we're going into election season,
now you know.
Last year, I remember
I remember
it was in Lagos during Salah.
Yes.
We were almost doing a who is who of who visited. Professor Shoyinka visited all sorts of people.
And then you have the
even Otumba Shengo Shomi was there.
And then you have Ibin Power. The Ibin Power.
It was only Mr. Habib Aruna that we did not see.
Exactly. But we almost saw him. We thought he was wrong with the
It's
hat.
not possible.
Yeah,
You know?
it's possible.
Anyway, let's take this.
I can't be in that crowd.
Oh, I see. Let's see this story. Nigeria suffers nearly 1 trillion naira exports loss after Trump tariff. First of all, what do you make of the Trump tariff? I mean, you're well traveled. Trump taking away the green card access, citizenship access, just
Ban on
days
Nigerians.
after telling us a lot that we had the opportunity to do that. I'd like you to react to that, because some Nigerians now, I hear Punch did put out a story I was reading just at night. I couldn't complete it. I hope to do so later on. The same Punch said that Nigerians who are here now for 30 December are not enjoying it because they are worried if they will be stopped at the airport when they go back, because of the new pronouncement and announcement that's been made. But let's take a call. We do have a call. Onyeka, good morning. Onyeka, good morning. Can you hear us?
I'm still on now.
All right, please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning. How are you all?
Very well, thank you for asking. We hope you're good too. Please go ahead with your comments.
Yes, I want to comment on this tax, whatever that we're talking about, you know.
Okay.
I'm an FC, I'm a chartered accountant, and I'm an equally a tax expert, and I can assure you that I've read through this thing. All the defense and all they are telling us is not correct. Absolutely. You see, there is no way you can begin to tax the lower cadre right now, or even everybody, let me put it like that. Essentially, on the pay as you earn, they're proposing 15% from January. You know, it's not going to, all of you that are in the studio will be affected. Everybody's going to be affected. This is the wrong time. Regardless of whether they gazetted the wrong one or one, which we know that it's not a good one. You know, I don't understand, you know, how a country like this, even if we want to train experts like myself and any other person within our economics and accounting and taxation, window, or, environment, we could go to that France and learn, or America. Involving France to come and have a joint collection is absolutely unacceptable. We can remember what happened with Alpha Beta in Lagos. For 20-something years, about the Tinubu held Lagos on the jungle at Alpha Beta. And that's exactly what he wants to replicate with France. And he romance with Macron. This is not fair now. Well, the most people who die and put themselves on the street of Abuja, everywhere before this man. Spare people, for God's sake. Why his interest is always in tax? Do you understand? This is not good. So we must start to resist it. I don't understand the docility of Nigerians. In a situation like January was about 10 days from now, and they will begin to feel the heat again. That's the same way Jack on 29th of May, this 2023 or thereabout. This man Jack removed fuel subsidy to 1 something naira fuel. We begin to buy 1,000 and above, and nobody did anything. What kind of spread that Tinubu is holding Nigerians? I don't get it. So that's my contribution. We must, you journalists will help sincerely to sensitize the country. Don't take stand. Be on the side of the people so that this tax can be suspended. Why the Nation Opposition Movement are coming up and many other people, I am supporting the fact that this tax should be suspended before that January should not be implemented. You journalists should do the best you're doing to still sensitize the masses that we should not agree.
Okay. Thank you very much, Onyeka, for calling. He's a tax man, he's a chartered accountant, and he's totally, vehemently opposed to this comments. And he said we should resist. We no go gree, we no go gree. Anyway, I want us to then go. I mean, okay, before we...
You asked a question.
You had asked the question, yes, respond to that, please.
Very quickly. You see, Trump is a different human being. He campaigned on those things, America first. And he's been rolling based on that contest. Immigration, tariff. If they realize that America and your country, the tariff does not favor America, they will redefine it and redo it. That's what is going on. And unfortunately, Nigeria is at the back end of it, right? And because we are not, our economy is based on export of oil, period. And our oil is being exported to the US and other countries. So if they do anything against our interest, in terms of stopping the export to come to their country, to affect our own economy, that's exactly what we are facing. So we cannot blame him. And in terms of the visa issue, Johansson, that's the policy.
Their country, their laws.
The US ambassador had the press conference last week, and he said that is the law. When the guy was there, Joe Biden, our visa was increased from 2 years to 5 years. Yeah. But this guy is bringing his own policy too. To have to abide by it in the next 3 years. But I'm sure to change.
When will it change?
The policy will change when Trump leaves office.
The Republican gets into party.
I'm not going to worry about it. So, if it's a Republican party that wins, it will change because Trump is just a different person. So everything that he's doing is most of them, they're antithetical to the tenets of the U.S. Constitution.
I mean, the concern there is, it feels like, first of all, it was a gradual process, but everything is now happening real quick. First of all, they limited visa access from the 5-year multiple entry to 3-month single entry with an increased rate. While we were murmuring about that and complaining about that, then this visa ban that was partial to certain countries, including Nigeria.
Partially.
Yes. And then including Nigeria. And now it's the green card that has now, Nigerians have been restricted. In fact, reports have it that some people who had written their exams and were going to get their citizenship, it was on the day this pronouncement was made that they found that out, and they were completely excluded from that. The fear and the concern there is not necessarily because people just want to relocate. It's because the world is a global village. There are those in Nigeria that have family members in the US. Yeah. There are those who are married to people. I mean, we all know people who are, in the US married to Nigerians, or Nigerians here married to those in America, or Nigerian Americans married to Nigerians. And it's bad enough that
separating families.
Exactly. Distance is doing so much damage to families. What this does is that it further widens the gap. We'll see a lot of breakdown in families. The family is the smallest unit in the society. And I shudder to think what the coming generations would have to experience. People who will travel for holidays and not be able to get back into the country.
And to really know that he has not even completed 1 year of a 4-year term. So imagine what the future
will. But the ambassador said it's not a sweeping policy. And they can deal with it case by case. So we have to be more careful.
Oh, there's also the report. Yes. I did see a report about how the next phase is to denaturalize people who already have,
he can do it.
No,
I won't put anything. I won't put anything beyond Donald Trump.
You're right.
I won't put anything. I mean, look at what he's doing in Venezuela. How can you say Venezuelan soil is yours?
How to do it?
Venezuelan oil, and is engaging, the U.S. Navy is engaging in piracy off the coast of Venezuela. Yeah. They've seized an oil tanker. How do you make unilateral decisions like that? If all countries in the world were behaving like that, it would be a mad world. So somebody needs to put them in order.
I think the most important thing this does for us as a nation is to let us know that we need to put our act, we need to fix up as a country. Our government and our leaders, much more than anything, should be embarrassed by this level of international red flags that we're getting, and fix our country so that we get to the point where everyone feels proud to associate with our country.
You can imagine if whereby they invited Olusoyinka, a global figure, to come for interview. And he said, I will not go.
Exactly.
No, I'm telling you, so that shows to you that.
Keep your visa.
Then who is the person, who is the next person that come and tell them what to do? It's Soyinka for that matter. So I think you are right.
Okay, let's take a few comments from YouTube before we wrap up the show today. Speaking about the release of the students from Niger State, we can see here Prince Ajibade says released without arrests. He then says that somebody no get shame. Everything achievements for them. Only God knows how much was paid for the release of those girls. What a disastrous nation, he says. Victor Okebata says, what happened to the abductors? How much were they paid before the children were released? Good morning, Mokunye Chukwemeka. Your greetings are well received. Prince Ajibade, in response to the National Assembly, the lawmakers singing on your mandate we shall stand, he says, which courts do you want to take them to? Same court that is always singing on his mandate, they will fall. We only have one arm of government in Nigeria as it stands. Mokuye Chukwuemeka goes on to say, just imagine a wiki as president. He will carry his own band to the National Assembly. The trend has been born. This is disgusting. The president should be wise enough to not allow them play that song, but his ego needs to be massaged, hence he allows it. Felix Okechukwu says, I think schools and the military should start singing this song. Trust your president who see it as a solidarity to him. The self-interest and the honor me syndrome is on the highest level. And Victor Okebata says, Tinubu's government keeps widening the gap in trust deficits between it and citizens with impunity because they know that there won't be a free, fair, and credible election come 2027. It's very unfortunate. Let's get your thoughts, your final thoughts as we wrap up. And maybe we can play that video. On your mandate, we shall stand. The president is going to present budgets before the House, and they all rise to sing on your mandate, we shall stand. This is not the first, second, or third time we've seen this happen.
We have that video.
We talk about it over and over again, but it feels like we're now starting to sound
seems like the new national anthem.
I think it's tragic. The government has now become a thing of comedy. You know, when I watched the video of the judiciary, some of the judiciary singing that song, I felt ashamed, you know, and I felt more worried that the presidency is not saying anything about it. As it became a normal, you know, it's not something that you should be proud of at all. I won't imagine the Sharaki-led National Assembly allowing that to happen. Even Lawan, you know, that was not that independent, allowed it to happen. But with Akpabio in charge, my sister, anything can happen. You know, it's embarrassing, and Nigeria should keep voicing out their reservation against it.
All right, and
it's not tidy at all.
This is how we wrap up the show today. You know, saying that Nigerians must voice their dissatisfaction. And I'm seeing here, unfortunately, we can't take any more comments on YouTube. Thank you to everyone who's commented on YouTube and has been a part of the show, to everyone who has called, virtual audience, physical audience. We'll be back again same time tomorrow as we're counting down to the end of the year.
And good luck to the Super Eagles tomorrow. AFCON fever is here. We have our man Udoka. He's live in Rabat as we destroy Tanzania tomorrow. And very hopeful. Samia Suluhu's Tanzania.
And I must compliment only for coming out looking so good.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this.
You are looking like a Lady Lugard.
Thank you so much for watching.
Mary Slesso.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you join us bright and early from 7. Jasiri is up next. Take care. Bye.
Bye, guys.
We are out here.